you doing?
Hello.
You alright?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. How are you?
I am good. I've been having a little bit of think about what we could do for some content regarding Jurassic. Now the
Yeah,
film's been out a while.
And we've actually taken most of August off, which wasn't planned. It's
No.
just something that happened. We ended up actually not doing anything. Yeah. Oh, hold on. For some reason, there was an advert playing in my ear, so I heard nothing from that. So
yeah,
I
so
don't know
we've
why
been
we
busy,
took
haven't we?
August off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like with you going on holiday. I think I went on holiday the first week of the summer holidays, and I think you went.
Yeah, we both went to
You guys
Europe,
got
didn't
rid
we?
of
Went to Europe
Yeah.
for a holiday, and then we've got summer holidays over here in the UK. We have obviously both got kids that are off, and we just go out and do things. Don't we? It's just a bit more difficult. But now we've got something cool coming up soon that we can't talk about just yet.
No,
but it should be
yet.
not just yet, but it will be very, very interesting, and I think a lot of people will be very excited about what we're about to do soon.
Yes.
However, tonight we are going to talk about the Jurassic World trilogy. That is including Jurassic World Rebirth, and we're going to rank the carnivores that appeared in the movies, not the Camp Cretaceous and the Chaos Theory. We're just sticking to the movie timeline for this, just because I haven't got enough. So I would be here all night.
And I'll be including Battle of Big Rock.
I guess Battle of Big Rock would be included, as it is the Allosaurus I've used. However, that same Allosaurus is the same design. It's the same design that they use in the other one. That's why I've just picked that one. So that's what we're doing. All right. So I'm going to get the tier list up and shrink us away. There we go. Oh, Steve, bye. There we go.
Oh no.
Right. So we're going to go through all of them. We've got the Jurassic World Rebirth Raptor on the far left. Then it's Echo, Carnotaurus, Charlie, Allosaurus, Delta, or either one of them. I still don't know which one's which. Dimorphodon, D-Rex, Indoraptor, New Rebirth Rex, New Rebirth Mosa, Pteranodon, Indominus Rex, Morus Intrepidus, T-Rex, which is the original one, and the Dimetrodon, Ghost, Panthera, Red Tiger, the Pyroraptor, the Morphodon, which again, I don't know why I did two, I didn't mean to do that. I thought I'd add the Locust into this one, just for gigs. The Dominion Quetzal as along with the new one in Rebirth. I've got the Mutadon. I didn't include any of the ones in the tanks because as much as they're not really animals, are they? We don't know what they were like. No. I thought it'd be a bit silly to add them in.
And were they even alive?
No, well, we don't know. I know the Mutadon.
They play nothing in the film.
No, not at all.
So
yeah, I've got the Baryonyx with the Dominion Dilophosaurus, and the reason I've picked the Dominion Dilophosaurus and the Rebirth one is because one was CGI and one was the puppet, and I prefer one over the other. The new Spinosaurus, I didn't include all three, but I meant this design in general and what they bring to the movie. The old Mosasaurus, the old Compy, and the new Compy. So let's have some fun. So, what I'm going to do, which is obviously going to bring it up, how do you want to do this? Do you want to do, are you going to bring in there what they bring to the table, or is it purely going to be on design this?
I think it needs to be a mixture of everything, because we are rating them as a dinosaur, as a carnivore in the quadrilogy.
What, like their impact in the actual quadrilogy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Annoyingly, let's go through the movies, right? So let's start with Jurassic World.
Yep.
Okay. Now, how do you feel about the Mosasaurus? Like, where would you put it? If we didn't have a new Mosasaurus, where would you place this?
I would put the Jurassic World Mosasaur at somewhere high. Like, it's got to be A. Maybe either top end of A to S.
So in between, floating in between.
Yeah, it is high.
I mean, if we didn't get a Mosasaurus in Rebirth,
Yeah,
this would be up there for me.
yeah.
Um,
And I'll tell you why I'm saying A when I
yeah,
get to the Rebirth Mosa.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just want to say hi to people in the chat. Hi, Julian. Hi, Jagrex. Hi, Dinosaurio. Oh, welcome back. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I saw the first two Jurassic World movies, 2010s, and calling it earlier Jurassic World duology, and I called the earlier two Jurassic World movies a Connolly verse, just like the first four DCS Snyder movies. So nice. Yeah, I can see why people would do that. Okay, that's fair. I think that's a fair place to put that. Oh, excuse me.
Let's face it makes you fear the water, that Mosa, in Jurassic World, like being in the pond, because anything that goes into that water, is not coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I think they underutilised the Mosa really in terms of performance and screen time. However, I mean, I think the design was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, massive. Understatement.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next carnivore in Jurassic World, let's go for. I think it's the Raptor pack, right? You see it, Owen in, yeah. So let's go for Blue. Where would you rank Blue among the carnivores? Because she has a bit of an arc, doesn't she, as a dinosaur?
So are we bringing Blue obviously for Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom? Because it's the same design technically, isn't it? It's the same.
Well, I would say right, let's save Blue. Let's put her back and we'll save Blue. Let's go with the other Raptors, the other three, because they're in the movie for X amount of time. They get killed.
Yeah.
And design-wise, they all offer the same purpose, all three of them. Which design do you like second best, basically? Or third best or fourth best out of those? So, where do you want to rank them? Right, I don't think they deserve an A. I don't know why. And I think it's because...
Are they all in the same picture, or are we separating?
Let me just put them up on the screen for right now.
Yeah.
Right, so they're up the top there.
Because who's the one? I always mix
that,
up.
That's
the
Echo.
One that's got like the orange and blue.
Yeah, Echo's the orange and blue.
Okay.
And Charlie's the youngest, I think, and Delta is the second youngest, but I think, I'm not 100% sure. I like Echo's design. I think she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think she's the best.
Orange with the blue. Orange and blue stripes.
Yeah, orange and blue, I think that's the second best design.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the best out of those three.
Yes, I agree.
So, as individually, I'd rank her as A and the other two as B.
Mm-hmm.
But as a Raptor pack together for those three, which we are going to have to group them together, it's going to have to be boosted down to a B. And the reason why is they're just not as fearsome, they're not as scary as any other raptors in the film. And then you take back to like Jurassic Park and Lost World. Those
I agree.
Dinosaurs are scary. Their designs are decent.
I also think if you gave the Atrociraptors, if you gave these raptors the characteristic and like aggressiveness of the Atrociraptors, they would be an A or an S, wouldn't they?
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
the design is great, but again, their impact in the film is quite low.
Right.
So fair, it sits in the middle.
Okay. And so should we place Blue in the A then?
Blue can go into A.
I mean, design-wise, she's not the greatest Raptors. I would say, arguably,
body-wise and like shape-wise, is not great.
No. But I mean, I would argue that Echo's a better designed raptor than her.
Yeah.
Because she's just grey, isn't she, with blue stripe?
Yeah.
It's more of the fact that, we got a story arc with her character and the relationship she had with Owen, and
again plays a bigger part in the film than the other three do.
Yeah.
So again, that's why I would agree, like the other three in B, Blue in A.
Yeah.
To be fair, and then we can keep it like that.
Okay. Right.
So I'm happy with that.
I feel that these are going to change, and I'll tell you why.
They could do.
I think they're going to change. Actually, no. I'm almost going to argue with myself there. Okay, so Jagregs reckons A tier for the Moser. Rebirth Rex has to be S tier. We probably could have a few agreements here, actually. Right, so let's move on to the... Where are we? Let's go... Let's just go with the Dimorphodon while it's there. Jurassic World Dimorphodon. It doesn't really have a huge part to play. However, it does become a bit of a nuisance in the Jurassic World bit where all the chaos happens in Main Street. It's quite aggressive, and it does get shot on screen as a little like gimmick laugh, doesn't it?
So screen time, obviously, like we said, it's very low. Design wise is really good. I do like the look of the Dimorphodons.
I mean, in terms of paleontologically accurate, it's not great. It looks like a T-Rex with wings.
Yeah, with tiny little body.
However, in terms of like aggressiveness, I mean, I don't think it'd be fair to rank it the same level as the Raptors.
No, I was going to go with a C.
Yeah.
And obviously that has space to move later on.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you think if we could do the probably Pteranodon next.
Yep.
Because to be fair, I don't really like the designs in Jurassic World for the Pteranodon.
They were a bit weird, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like when I saw this Pteranodon, my first thought was, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Whereas this, I didn't. To be fair, the Dimorphodon, I didn't think that. But
yeah,
for the Pteranodon, I thought that is not the Pteranodon that we know. Where this that's not what I expected.
No, I don't know if it's the camera angle it was filmed at, but you know when it gets shot down and it just skids along the floor towards, is it the kids?
Yeah.
That camera angle of like the head and the beak, it just looks weird.
That might be just a CGI camera work, to be fair.
But it's just, I don't know.
I mean, they're deceptively bigger than you think they are, actually. Do they play a really cool, awesome part? Yeah, absolutely. I think the torment on Zara, was it Zara, in the water, that was brilliant. They're just arseholes, really, aren't they? They just pick people up and drop them, and like the characteristics and nature is superb, but it doesn't make sense to me in terms of like as an animal. I don't believe they would look at a human as a food source.
No.
Because we'd be too large for them, for one. And also just the fact that the beaks aren't designed to swallow. Not anything, bigger than a house cat.
Yeah.
Or a dog, I should say, really, based on their size. But, I mean, if that swallowed anything bigger than a cat, it'd literally fill its whole entire body up.
Yeah.
So
exactly, and it wouldn't be able to fly after that at all.
No, because it's weight. Yeah. So I feel like, whereas you look at the Jurassic Park 3 Pteranodons, they're bigger, they're robust, they've got teeth. Yeah. They just look more genetically modified as something that could possibly, be predatory and eat carnivorous.
Yeah.
Whereas these, I don't know. I just don't buy it.
Yeah, there was a bit where it goes into the petting zoo and tries to lift, was it the baby
Triceratops? Yeah.
Yeah, and you see it's struggling, but it can lift a full-grown human. Now I don't know, obviously, the weight of Zara compared to a baby trike.
I mean, you'd argue a baby trike probably would weigh more. Depends.
It's difficult to say, but
yeah,
I'm happy to keep the Pteranodon and the Dimorphodon together in C for now.
Okay. We'll see what comes along, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I think the last one for Jurassic World is the Indominus.
Yes.
I lo- I'm gonna put him in S. If you don't agree,
Yep.
you can put him in A.
No,
The
straight
reason
up
I'm
to
gonna
S,
oh
mate.
okay. The reason I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it in S is because as much as I didn't really rate the fact that they just made it boring and white or grey,
Yeah.
like the actual design of the creature does look like a dinosaur,
Yeah.
and
Believable.
yeah, it does look believable. I know it had its exaggerated predatory traits and the character, the idea behind its like its abilities and all that sort of stuff is exaggerated. Um, you know, its anatomy is great. It's fast. It can climb. It's got on paper the anatomy of like a raptor mixed with the size and bulk and strength of an apex predator like T Rex and a Giganotosaurus. So it's like a killing machine.
Yeah.
It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a little bit. It can camouflage. I just think it's just an over the top dinosaur, but it's just
Exciting.
absolutely like.
Yeah.
I mean, could they have arguably put it in? Could they have used a Giga instead of a mutant? Yeah, of course they could in the Jurassic World. It had made sense that the Indominus then is been made from the Giganotosaurus DNA,
Yeah.
and you could have gone that route.
Mixture of all.
Yeah, absolutely, and it could have been like a Giga 2.0.
Yeah.
But the fact that I didn't, I still really loved this, and I remember you had a little. You didn't see this until you saw it in the film, did you?
Yeah, that's it. So when it escaped out of that enclosure was the first time I fully saw it. Like all out. It was just I was sitting there just going, what the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah. Like, what is this thing?
So yeah. And just when when it escapes out and the like Owen crawls under the what's it, the Jeep, the lorry thing, and then you got the worker sitting opposite, just that moment you could see it just like obviously grabs the guy and then pulls him up, but then it just sort of goes down and starts sniffing. You can see just the blood on the teeth.
Yeah,
Like the design, I love. Yeah, it is definitely an S-class dinosaur.
yeah, definitely.